Hi, so I'm so glad you're here. This is the part of the program where we meet for the first time and I share some onboarding information. Recordings will be archived in our private Telegram group, which is the place for Q&A. It's also a place where through Telegram, things that I say you can share to whoever you want to in Facebook and whoever. So the onboarding we are doing, oops, I can never spell. I'm such a crappy typist. So we're doing our weekly meeting sessions on Zoom. So that's one of the things. We do have a confidentiality agreement. We do have some basic ground rules for the group. Number one is to come as you really are authentically, whatever your feelings are, whatever your challenges and frustrations are, and your shares and your wins. We're going to go over these every week at the beginning of each session. What happened to you this week that was great for you? What happened that may have been a speed bump? So that you're always able to kind of have a little bit of a pulse on how things are changing for you from week to week or by the end of the program. We do ask for courtesy and respect, and always coming from I statements rather than any kind of a you statement. But this is also a space where people need to be able to share freely because of the nature of what you'll uncover in your own origin story, where you were not able to express yourself freely and not get shut down by someone in the family or someone at school or whatever. So this is a safe environment for that kind of sharing. But you also need to be accountable for your own sense of self-care and your own feelings. So if it's too much and you don't want it on the recording, you can share it in Telegram. Nobody gets to see that if they're not a member of the group. But it's an easy way for me to keep in touch with what you have going on throughout the 8 weeks. And upload audios. There's a place where we can speak in Telegram, just like you can with Facebook, by pushing a microphone and talking. So yeah, this is so exciting for me. It's really exciting. And I'm really glad that you're here. Okay. And let me know that you can see me and hear me, because sometimes Zoom is tricky. I hope you can see me and hear me. This
Yes,
is,
yes.
thank you. This is where we're beginning, and we're looking at your story or your life. And I really do want to start with the origin story of our relationships with mother, because many of us have had entanglements with some form of divine feminine wound. If we've been tagged for sexual abuse, that's part of the ancestral lineage of the divine feminine wound. And so we want to unpack this. So this is our basic, what we're looking at, how we form our beliefs, shape our perceptions, and any false foundation in you that operates against the authenticity of your complex energy field and gives you speed bumps or reversals that you don't know how to fix. So this is based on my 30 years of experience and working with lots of clients in groups, small and large. And what we want to do is come to the awareness and truthful communication about how what I call the Me Too mom, which is another word for the jealous mother, or the mother who doesn't give you what you need because she's in some form of narcissistic fog. And in this way, she actually stops you from asking questions, from getting answers that you need. You don't get the details about what's happened in your life. She doesn't want to talk about it. And it helps to create what I call spiritual Alzheimer's, as well as emotional dysregulation, neurocircuitry dysregulation, and you making decisions about what it is okay for you to feel, not feel, say or not say, or be aware of. So once we're doing that, we begin to look at your just me story. And you're going to have time this first week to really explore what this does and has done in your past, or maybe currently doing now in your daily life. Everybody in this group is going to be coming from a slightly different place in their progression on their journey. So we do this individually, we share it collectively, and we respect it universally. So then one of the questions that we're going to ask for the entirety of the 8-week program is, what if you are really here in your body to live your life and its purpose, and purpose says, I've become aware over my years of teaching that there is more than one purpose. And then we're going to give you a sense of relaxation about making a great choice to get started now, because now is better than late or never. So the Q&A that we engage in, both in our group sessions and on Telegram, are an essential feature of being fully engaged in the premise of this workshop and its promised outcomes. And taking notes and actively using the program resources is recommended, and I hope that you will. So we're in session 1, and right now we're looking at the overview, the welcome, and the introductions. And I want to let you know that in this program, you get access, it's an extra cost, but you get access to the Source Life Key Code Essences. And there are many specific ones that I recommend for the first week, or even just through the entirety of this course. And those are Connect, Nervous System, DNA. These are little 10-milliliter bottles of information coded pure water that I have as a product line. You also get access to Transmute, 0 Point Soul Cleanse. You get access to musculoskeletal, which is really important when you're clearing out your nervous system and the neurocircuitry. You want that to coordinate with your musculoskeletal system. And then you also get SVR. And right now, at this moment, I don't remember what number 21 is, but I can tell you the next time we speak. Or you can ask me in Telegram, and I can pop up from my desk and go look at it in the supply cabinet. So this is the overview for the 8 weeks, and we're going to be focusing on acquiring our beliefs, shaping our perceptions, and learning how to heal, soothe, resolve, transmute the challenges that we have that are involved in these specific stories. One is the story of time and your birth. That's week 1. 2 is the story of your body and gender. That's week 2. The story of innocence. That's your week 3. The story of your mother-father relationship. That's week 4. Then the very unique story of time as it functions with your unique consciousness. That's week 5. And the story of fear, week 6. Also how fear, what is your relationship to fear in your unique consciousness? These things will be unique. Same for the story of power, how you felt empowered in your life and how you felt disempowered, so we can do compare and contrast. And then in week 8, we look at the story of love. In acquiring your beliefs and shaping your perceptions, what is the story of love that is your family of origin story that you may choose to rewrite once you have all the information? So that is how we go through each week. And then here in your syllabus, you will see that each week we are going to have things that we talk about. You're going to have writing exercises in your journal for your homework. You're going to have an opportunity to ask questions about your early life. And this is going to actually take up quite a bit of time in your first week, because when we look at this, we look at our birth, how we were born, the first days of our life, because this impacts our ability to generate stem cells productively from our DNA. And you want to be able to compare and contrast if you, for instance, were born with a particular genetic defect, or things that people recognize today, things like dyslexia, tendency toward depression, or even being bipolar. All of these things are related to who was your father, who was your mother, how did that information form within you in your DNA. Now, also in this first week, I will also begin to talk to you about how you begin to create your map, your energy body map that is showing up in a constellation with your emotional choices, perceptions, beliefs, with your physicality, which we will get into more as the time goes on, and what you were set up for in the system of separation, which is huge in this work, is recognizing the system of separation that showed up uniquely in your family, in your birth and early childhood story. And then what you will be asking in terms of the 9 essential questions to go deeper as you're actually mapping who you are in your waking daily life, who you are in your dreamtime life, who you are in your work life, and in your prominent relationships now, and how these are all part of your first layer of mapping, which is who you were born to and how you were born. Okay, so I'm going to pause there because that's quite a bit, and maybe you have a question. So you can take a look at this, and if you have a question, we have time to answer questions now. I have time to do that, and I hope that I'll be able to answer your question. All right, Anastasia may be away from her microphone right now. I don't know if she's put something into the chat. Okay, she has no questions. All right, so then, yeah, I understand that you're working now, and I appreciate your being here. But I have a question for you, and that is if you were able to listen to what I just said, and if it resonates with where you are right now in your expansion process, in your vulnerability journey, and in how you're growing yourself into the fullest expression of your life purpose that you're living right now. So if that's a question you can answer with a yes or a no.
Yes, 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 yes. I want to learn that more. And yeah, it's exciting to learn more about how the ancestors are, and having my dad who, took his life, he took, did suicide, and then my brother who bipolar disorder. So there's a lot of history of mental disorders. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, let's learn more.
Yes, you will have the opportunity, and to start mapping it out visually as a work of art, which I think is fun for most people, and you can take it beyond vision board. You can do collage, you can do whatever combination of mapping what your story is and connecting it to your energy field. So that's something we'll be doing right along through the 8 weeks, and it's a really powerful process. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to wait because Catherine's going to jump in, and she'll have the recording. So I don't think we'll go over this a second time, but here's what we'll be looking at session 2, and you will be accountable for managing your own time and coming to our 2-hour session prepared with having looked at this and done work around it. We're only meeting for 2 hours a week. That leaves you a lot of hours, other hours in the week, plus time in Telegram for you to journey deep into this process. So in our human bodies on this planet, we are born in binary code, or we have been until very recently, which is you're either a boy or you're a girl. Now, recently, in the last 20 years, the gender story is moving out of binary code into a more actually organic setup, which is, well, you could be a boy and you could have a penis, or you could be a boy with a penis on the outside, but you feel like you're more feminine on the inside. Gender story. Or you could be a girl with a vagina and a vulva and a clitoris, but inside you have more masculine energy running, and you feel like what people will say, you're a tomboy. These are all stories that impact how you feel in your own body. And one of the things that I'm really, really a big advocate of is understanding who we are and doing everything that we can to resolve body dysmorphia so that you feel unified in your body and you feel that you are able to express yourself as your spiritual, emotional gender, which could be more masculine, or as your female essence that you are as a divine feminine, and how all of these things can come into union in your body. And you don't have to get caught in binary code perception or definitions. So these are some of the experiential exercises that we'll do in the group. And then there's some of the homework questions that you will do, say, for session 2. Once we're done with the group, you can go on and do your preparation for as much as you want. You can go back and look at session 2. I would recommend waiting until we're in session 3 to go into it more deeply, because although we're on our own individual timelines, to have coherency in the group, we want to be able to have touch points that we can relate to, that relate to the focus of each weekly session. So there that is. And I think that by now it should be relatively clear that I am coming from a very experienced and knowledgeable place as a coach and as a mentor, and that this program will have value for you. And I hope you can understand why I don't share this kind of information broadly with AI now on a place like Facebook, because that would just dilute my work. It would dilute the time, care, and attention that I've put into developing this program and how I deliver it, and the support and coaching that's available to you in it. Which brings me to another topic, and that is there is a bonus program that's available for people who have paid for the program. That whether you are not, you're here as paying a partial or whatever, the bonus program is very worthwhile, and it I have sold it previously at a healthy price, but it's certainly less than the cost of this complete 8-week program at $4,997. So I would say it's an amazing support for deepening your understanding about yourself. It is not onerous in any way. It's all on video. And I would suggest that you think about making sure that you get a hold of that information. The other bonus that everyone gets, whether you're made a first deposit or a first payment or a partial payment, or I have invited you in through Living Lessons Library, as Living Lessons Library will be paying for your tuition, then what I would like to just let you know is that you are still in the program entitled to 2 one-hour private one-on-one coaching sessions with me, which are valued at $350 an hour, so that you have a frame of reference for the value, again, that I'm bringing into this situation. Okay, so the other bonus is access to the Source Life Essences, which have been beta tested for 5 years, and they have been proven again and again and again. Now, I know that we all have our modalities, but this is something that you can just roll on very quickly. I'll give you a demonstration. This is my own little private bottle of a essence that is the frequency of receiving. And when I feel that I'm wanting to expand my capacity for receiving whatever my heart, soul, spirit, and body would like me to have more of from this generous universe, This is very simple. You roll the information on your wrist points, you rub it in, and it goes immediately because we are 70% water. The information goes immediately into your system. Now, I have not put that on for what, 5 seconds, and I'm already feeling it impacting my energy field. So for people who are energetically sensitive, access to these essences is a really valuable resource. This one is sourced Spark, and this one is very beneficial for people who are in cycles occasionally of feeling deflated or feeling a little bit depressed. It certainly can be beneficial for someone who is diagnosed as bipolar, although I have other ones for that particular diagnosis. This is about emotional, body, and neurocircuitry regulation. And you don't have to do anything as obvious as tap. It could be in your purse. You can roll a little bit under your chin for your throat chakra. But really, you just need to put it on your pulse points, which is a very discreet thing to do. And it is phenomenal, the how fast it works and the results that people have gotten. And I had some SVRs specific for unexpected, painful, physically painful moments. Been very helpful to clients of mine who were in situations where they were suffering minor burns or bee stings or other moments where they just were in pain and they wanted quick relief. And this source essence in a bottle gave them that relief within seconds. So that's another feature of what I'm bringing into this program, is that level of what I call precision energy. And it really does make a difference. Okay, so that's enough about that. And we're coming in onto the 3 o'clock hour. And Anastasia, because I know you're working and because I started working at 1, I'd like us to take a 10-minute break. And I'm going to use my restroom and get some water. And if you need more than 10 minutes, if you would like more than 10 minutes, now's a good time to let me know that, because Catherine will be coming in unless, I mean, she may come in the last 10 minutes, I don't know. But if you would like to take a short break now, I'm certainly going to take one, and I invite you to do that. So,
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
okay, good. All right. So I will, I'm not going to stop the share for right now because I do want Catherine to see this, because I doubt she'll had time to download the syllabus or print it out before she pops in, probably feeling very flustered and apologetic. That may be how she shows up. Okay, so I'm going to pause the recording, and let's take 15 minutes. I'm going to take a little walk around the garden where I live, and I'm going to drink some water. And I will see you, let's say, at 3:15 East Coast time, which is 1:15 Pacific. All righty, see you in a few.
Hi.
Hi. Wonderful to see you. You've had a very exciting morning, huh?
Yes, very exciting morning. A couple interesting things. So anyway, I won't bore you with my frustration here. I did not ever go to a networking meeting that lasted over 2 hours. I think that's very inconsiderate. Or maybe I'm just upset because I was missing what you were doing at the same time. That wasn't what was planned. But she's good at inviting people, and she's good at I've got leads for you, and I'm good. Stay to the end, and we'll talk. And there was 25 people, 26 people, or something, and it's really hard to like, if she's running out of time, she should. I'm going to use the word. I'm sorry. The first part is to introduce, and the second part is their speakers, like their 5-minute speakers, and then she wants to break people apart to meet people, and then they're talking about business practices, and she's got a 4-part system, and it's you know what? If it's running into that much time, she's got to stop it, right? She's got to decide, oh, well, won't have time for this today, da-da. That's what I would have done.
Well, this is really interesting, and I'm going to catch you up to speed really quick, but your frustrations are part of why you're here, because we want to, you need support for those things, and we encounter them every day. And I think really finding a way to make better choices when you encounter that kind of frustration is what are my other choices? What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been in that situation, and I have reached out to the host and said, I really was very open to coming to your networking group, and here's my feedback for you.
I wrote some notes down. Yeah.
Yeah. And be gracious, because we don't know what we don't know till we know it. And part of what the journey of this group is about is being able to feel completely free to speak what's on your mind, whether it's a frustration or a congratulations or a praise, but to not put yourself in a box where you're feeling fraught and frustrated, but there's no communication. So one of the
I had
things,
to I kind of I've done my back pedal. Okay.
yeah,
And I'm sitting here, it's still very fresh. Until I decide how, but that's very good to say, to get some feedback, because she said she would talk to me later or reach out. She's got opportunities for me, and I sure as hell hope it's not a sales pitch. Like that, I don't know why my head's going there, but in so many ways,
Yeah.
don't go
Yeah.
there.
No, I think these are legitimate questions that you should be asking, because you're giving your valuable time.
I am. I'm showing my book. She offered, here, we'll give you a 5-minute spot. And I met her earlier in the year, and I was really, really not in the headspace. I'm much better right now. But I also do remember it's called Lunch with Lynn. Okay, what does lunch mean to you? Not 2 hours and plus, right? Not at all. So in the spring it was called something else. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was this a lot of people showed up. And again, being brand new, they only gave you 30 seconds or something because there's not enough time. And then she must have rebranded it. She's been inviting me the last half of the summer to come in with my book. And I thought, okay, I'll do it now. And I still don't feel that that was valuable use of my time. Interesting to meet some new people, no doubt about it. But I'm making my own notes who I'm going to contact. I don't need this, you got to meet this one, and you got to, this stuff. I don't really need that. Anyway, so
welcome.
Tell me what you've been doing for 2 hours now. I can't believe this.
Well, I started with the masterclass because I designed it so that it would fit in with today's flow of going into onboarding.
Yes.
And this has all been recorded, and so you can watch it at your leisure. You don't have to worry about a time crunch here for today. I have sent you the syllabus in an email so that you will know what to expect, what we'll be looking at each week. And at this point, we have you and another person and me in this group. And so we can shave back the time if we find that we do not need a 2-hour session every week. That would be crazy to do that if we don't need that kind of time.
Thursday afternoons are busy. I don't know about you, but there's always something going on, whether it be once a month stuff or once a week stuff, or everybody likes that time slot. And so that's why I've got my Fridays on Fridays. Anyway, that went really well last week. So I'm committed to that till the end of the year. So I'll review.
I'm not doing anything on Friday, so congratulations on that. And so what we're doing here is Thursdays, and we can have conversations about the amount of time that we will spend together. And I went over confidentiality. I went over the agreements, the group agreements. I went over that we have a private Telegram group where we can share for questions and answers, or where we want to do sharing with the other participants, like you two could connect and find that you want to spend some time communicating about what you're doing. And so that is how the time was spent. It went very well. Anastasia is now, she'll be back in a little bit. She's also caring for someone. She's a carer and she takes care of a senior citizen. And so she's here today, which I'm very grateful for. And yeah, so this is what we have. And I would say when we start a session each week, there will be a kind of a format, which is how you doing? How's your day? How have you been? How was your week?
Check in, yeah.
The check-in. What are your wins? What's a really situational frustration that you're dealing with? Because we all have them. But important for me each week, and important for, and we'll do this when Anastasia comes back, is I'm so delighted that you are sharing your time with me to help me validate the value of what it is that I have created here. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I would love to be of service. I'm just breathing right now. So all this stuff I'm going to have to read and look at on the way. So, okay, so it's already, the first part's already recorded and sent. Is that what you're saying?
I have sent you the syllabus, which is what is on the screen right now.
Oh, okay.
I have emailed you the invite link. It's in the chat. You can grab it again for the Telegram group.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, what else have we gone over? I will be including today's masterclass because it had a slightly different flavor to it, which I think would be very, very useful, especially if you find that this has value for you. And as you've been doing, and I'm so grateful that you have, you're willing to help me grow this, because the feeling now around my branding, what I'm doing as working with fireproof women, unstoppable women, brilliant resilience, and your birthright bliss, this is resonating with people who are feeling like they want this. So that's what we've done. And I think what I will be asking us to show up with each week and before the end of the day is, what is one thing that is happening in your reality right now? Maybe it's 2 things. Maybe it's 3 things. If you had a magic wand, which you do, you just don't know where it is.
I do. Where's my crystal?
Yeah.
I put it in the sun today. There was a sunbeam coming right across the desk, and the one crystal I have at the window was bouncing on. I thought, oh, I'll put some more stuff out.
Very nice, right?
Very cool.
Fixed.
It is easily fixed.
And so I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to put it back in the meeting group chat. Set up the content. Now all I have to learn is their process for getting it emailed, which I don't know how to do.
Well, I have heard of other people using Coaching Genie, and I haven't heard anything derogatory. So it's just again a new toy. Yeah.
It's a new toy. It's not a cheap toy. It's $79 a month. But if I'm going to be using this as a resource that I can rely on, and because I've reached the point, I mean, one of my pet peeves is people have always underestimated me. And it's a combination of cultural things, and it's certainly stuff that I've done a lot of work around, how I've formed beliefs and shaped perceptions. And I'm really clear that anybody who underestimates me sort of does that at their peril. But that's for them to find out and for me to know. And so
I feel the same way. It's people underestimate me all the time.
I feel that in you. I feel that you're not.
I'm tall. I'm strong. I speak what I mean, and some people ruffles people the wrong way.
It's not going to be.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. It's not your problem. How tall are you?
5'6".
Okay. Well, Anastasia, who may be joining us back, she
Yeah,
said
I'm here. I have been listening. I just didn't want to interrupt you, girls.
that's okay.
We're just chatting.
Anastasia, say
Yeah, I'm
hello. This is
Show your
Catherine.
face.
I will. I will. I'm just right now showered because I have a quick break before my work. Some kind of situation with her. So I will just give me a few seconds. I mean, few minutes. I need to dry my hair.
Thank
And
you for doing that. It's lovely always to see you. But Anastasia is quite tall. She's going to tell us how tall she is.
6 feet tall. Yeah, but
6 feet. Good for you.
mm,
Well, I'm only 5'6", and that's after I kind of shrunk a half an inch kind of thing. But I seem to overtower a lot of
Mhm.
people, and it's just really interesting. And when I was in BC, there's everybody is either Asian or Malaysian or very, very small population. And then there's the next generation that are like 6 feet
Again,
tall. They're the
yeah,
ones
they're
riding
all
the bike.
basketball players. Yeah,
Basketball
truly.
players. There's big extreme from the one generation to the next one.
And I'm 5'2" and shrinking. I've always been a petite little thing, and I think that played into people's
Well,
somehow.
female.
Yeah,
I
female and
once asked somebody, a shaman way back, I had, whatever we're talking about, similar things like this. And I said to her, I said, why did God put me in this family with no supports and no this? Nobody's listening to me. I'm ridiculed and teased and put down and like how if I'm supposed to be so great, if I've got this great gift that I'm going to move mountains here, why did God put me in this space? And she smiled at me and she said, my dear Catherine, what a better place to hide you in a female, your average looking, your average height, weight, and whatever. And you can just stay there until you're ready to get out. And I remember meticulously in shock and thought, interesting, very, very
I have
interesting.
I have a very different perspective on that.
Okay, why don't you tell me? I'd love to
Yeah,
hear that.
it's why we're here.
Okay.
I think that's one of those glib responses
Okay.
that doesn't take into account how it felt to be you where you were
Mhm.
and where you were not trying to hide.
Exactly.
Okay?
I always and so backpedaling again. So not only did she not help me lift the hand off my head, right? She was
Mhm.
telling me to just stay where you are. And
Yes.
that was two, 12, 13, 14, somewhere about that, 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's not my style.
It's not your style. Okay, that's why we're talking today.
That is so not my style. And I will say that in the arena in which we are now showing ourselves to be who we really are and sharing
Mhm,
beautiful gifts that we really do have to share, this is commonplace. The
mhm.
glib, the let me subtly pat you on your head so you stay right where you are and you stop questioning about your origin story. We are here to question the origin story.
We're here to break through.
Yeah, we're here to question it.
Mhm.
And that is one of the key features of a dysfunctional or origin story that's rooted in the system of separation. Don't ask. I mean, you can ask a question, but don't ask a deep question. Don't ask a question that is asking, thanks phone read for validating. Don't ask a question that you're really seeking an answer to, that touches you, that connects you, that opens the door for you. Please don't ask those kinds of questions. We don't have time for that.
Do you know what else I did around that time, about 10 years ago? I went on I'm going to use the word astro travel myself, not a guided meditation. I was doing this myself, and was still really trying what happened. And I got myself into outer space, and I got to talk to God. I wanted to talk to God. I was bold and brash enough to say, I want to know. And I got up there and I was looking for the brightest light I could find. And I found one. It was right around another planet. And I zoomed out over there and went to the pearly gates, which may or may not have been the pearly gates, but it sounded like the pearly gates. And all the relatives were there. No kidding. I believe I'm in the right place.
Uh-huh.
And they're all going, look at you. How did you get here? This is great. It's so nice to see you. And wow. And I replied, why did you leave me down there without any supports? Well, you were down there and you did not support me. Why did you leave me down there all by myself? Now, what am I supposed to do? Basically, chewed out my relatives. And they all went,
Mom.
well, they weren't allowed to say anything. They weren't allowed to tell me anything, but they all kind of looked and pointed over there. There's a being in a white, I believe it was male, table. I go up, or you're smiling. I'm telling you, this is real. Went over.
I've been there, sweetheart. I know it's real.
And I said, I want to know what I'm supposed to be doing. I said, they've all left me down there by myself, and I don't know what to do. And took out the book, right? Opened the pages, turned the page, closed the book, and I'm going, yeah, I can't wait for this. I really can't wait for this. Five words. You have everything you need.
All right, I'm going to tell you a different story.
Can I just finish just
Yeah.
1 second? And after that was it. So I've replayed it by accenting different words. You have everything you need. You have everything you need. You have everything you need. You see what I'm doing here?
I do.
Have everything you need. And then you have everything you need. I was replaying this in my head, like over and over, to try and get the message. I guess I have everything I need. And now I better go back down and try and put the pieces back together. I did not get the answer that I wanted.
Correct.
And that took a tremendous amount of bravery,
Yes.
courage, and articulation to do that.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And you went for the light.
I went for the brightest light I could find.
And I will. One of the things we will learn in this program is that light can lie. Light is not a source of truth. It's just light. It
And
can
when
be
you pray for light and love, you've got to be connected to the right light and love.
So I'm going to tell you how I experienced that journey.
Okay.
I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant with my second baby. That was a miracle baby that I was never supposed to be able to have. And I had been taking a nap with my older son, and we traveled together in dream time.
Wow.
And I met him, and he was a grown man, and we were standing in a huge plaza of people, and everyone was.
Is this your son that's going for mayor? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
he's not going for mayor, but city council. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so he's a terrific guy. And so we're walking around and we're seeing everyone around us despondent, depressed, deflated, confused, unhappy, right? And we look at each other. Now, in this plaza, there is a crystal staircase leading straight up, and none of these people see it. And I said to my son, we're going there. We're going up the staircase, and we will have our experience. So we start climbing, and we climb, 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 and we reach a place where there's like a pile of people on the stairs who got caught there in fear or in whatever, and they couldn't go back down, and they couldn't go all the way up. And my son was like, what is this? I said, well, we can't help these people. We need to keep going. So we kept going, and we climbed, and we climbed, and now we're in outer space. There's nothing but stars. And we come to the end of the staircase, and there's a little platform. There's a platform. And my son looks at me, he said, what do we do now? He's like, there's nothing here.
Step on the platform.
Well, we were on the platform.
Okay.
It was just a natural progression. We're on the platform. I said, take my hand. On the count of 3, we're going to jump, and we're going to do a somersault, and we're going to land where we need to be.
Wow.
He trusted me enough to do this. We did it. We landed. We were in the garden of the emperor's palace. And someone came to meet us, and beautiful woman. This was an Asian environment for me. That was my Chinese genetics showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, oh, we've been expecting you. Oh, wonderful. Have a seat over here. Now, the emperor will speak with you shortly, and we're glad you're here. And you're going to have 2 different meetings, but you're here, and you're here at the right time. I was like, cool. Okay. So we're waiting. So I'm like Miss Nosy. I'm like, well, I don't know when
That's why I like you.
I'm never going to get back here again. I'm going to have a look around. So I'm wandering around unescorted, and I see something in a room. I said, oh, that looks interesting. There's a beautiful wardrobe, piece of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, and I went, oh, and I opened it up. And there were these beautiful clothing designs in there. And I opened the drawers, and I handled everything, and I touched everything. I thought, oh God, this is gorgeous. I'm so glad I stopped in here. And I put everything back, and I closed it up, and I went back to sit down in the meeting room, the place where we were to meet. And then the hostess person came and said, okay, it's time for you. I'm like, great. So I go into this very beautiful but simple room, and the emperor is sitting on the throne, and he greets me, and I greet him, and we welcome, great, I'm here. I said, now, I'd like you to sit down here on my right. And he sat me down at his feet on the right, and there were cushions there where I could be cozy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And before he sat me down, I said, listen, I got to tell you, I'm here for a reason. It's a mess down there. We need help. It's a mess. What do you got?
He said that to you.
No, I said that to him.
You said that to him. Okay, just checking.
He said, I understand. Yes, I'm aware. Have a seat.
And where was your son?
Huh? Well, he's off for his own meeting. We didn't.
Oh, okay, separate meeting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because he's his own individual.
I know. Okay. Uh-huh.
And so the lovely person came back. The emperor had sent her away. She came back with a gigantic book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of those massive old-fashioned books.
Yep.
Massive. And he handed it to me, and he said, now, I want you to look at this book. Take your time. Read every page. You're comfortable. Make sure you're comfortable. Read every page. And I said, okay. And I did. And I sat there, and I read every single page. And I got to the end, and I closed the book, and I stood up, and I tucked it under my arm. And I said, thank you very much. This is exactly what I came for. Okay, good, great, bye. See ya. This is what we need down there. And he said, wait, just a minute. He said, sit back down. I said, okay. Hand me the book. I said, okay, here you go. It's your book, it's not my book. He said, if you want to read it again, I want you to memorize everything that's in it. You don't have to leave here until you've memorized cover to cover.
Thousands of pages.
It was a big book. And I said, okay, I have a good memory. I have an eidetic memory, actually. I have photographic memory. So I sat down and I went through it again. Went through it again.
How long did this take?
Well, we were in dream time, right?
I know.
Yeah. So then I got up and I just handed him the book and I was like, thank you so much. Thank you for this. This is exactly what I needed to know. So I went back into the area and I waited for my son to come out of his meeting. I didn't ask him what had happened for him, and he didn't ask me what had happened for me. And we went back out to the platform. And we walked down the steps and we went past the same people who were frozen in fear, couldn't go up, couldn't go down. And we walked all the way back down to the plaza where people still could not see the staircase. And we hugged each other. And we hugged each other and we went our separate ways because what he had to do was different than what I had to do.
I
He
know.
was 9 years old at that time. In the dream, he was a grown man, and he's the grown man that he is now. Yeah? I had a very different experience. That is a function of your energy body. You did the right thing. You did the powerful thing. You did the brave and courageous thing to go forward, to get the answers that you needed. You did not need people who, quote, are your family, who, quote, love you, who are, quote, there to support you and take care of you to go like
They
this.
weren't there. No, they weren't there, and they
Right. This is why we go into the origin story, because this is a universal experience. It's extremely uniquely painful for anyone who goes through it. Why we are here is so that you wake up to know that you are not in the place where you need to be. And you went to the light. So we'll have conversations about the kind of information that's in light, that light can lie, and the kind of information that's in sound. Because sound, light, there is no light without sound.
Anaiis, could you repeat? This is the reason why we are here. So you wake up to.
It's recorded
so you know, so you can know.
so that you know that you are where you're meant to be. And this is discernment. And you need your energy field for this. So Catherine made this huge journey, and it was a powerful thing to do. And she was attracted to the light where her people were, where they were giving the impression that it was safe. And then it was also good for her to show up and be with them. And that was not the case. They didn't have anything to say about why they left her, or anything to say about why they didn't support her when she needed it. This is why we go into the origin story. This is why we start in my 8-week program. This is where we start. Okay? Now, the difficult thing, really hard thing, is to understand that as personal and painful as it is, this is universal. And where we come into community and union, and even more power to get to where we need to go, is where we're in connection, in community. And an awakening community that's not going to pat us on the head and say, oh, whatever that glib thing that woman said to you, whatever that bullshit was.
She was a shaman, so again, I'm just saying, people, I know they have different disguises. That's right.
Yes, they do. They do. And part of the introduction of this program is so your energy field and your discernment, you're able to recognize the disguises, no matter what the labels are. Archangel, shaman, Uh-uh. Uh-uh. There's deeper information, and you will learn to see it and feel it and know it and trust it. And the next time you make that journey, Catherine, you will be in a different place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you will find what you need to know. And what did you ask those people? You asked them, why did you leave me? Do you understand now what my 9 essential questions is about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why is not your best question. It's a good question, but it's not the best question.
I want to know why.
Imagine the different experience you might have had if you had arrived in that same place and said, what's really going on here?
That sounds like I don't trust them.
No, it's an honest question. I want to know the truth. What's really going on here?
And they probably would do this again. They all went
But
hand-faced.
then you would have known, if I am where I need to be and you can't tell me, then you don't know what's really going on here. So why am I spending another second of my powerful
Waste my
life
time.
force with you?
Crazy.
But what happens is most people get stuck in that kind of a situation, and their energy gets stuck because of the nature of the question, why, because of the nature of the silence, we're not going to tell you, and because of the disguises. People stay stuck for decades.
I know, it starts to feel comfortable. But some of the stuff that I talk about in my classes are when you're in this vibration here, it starts to feel comfortable, and they just don't know how to pick things up. And so what I'm doing here is I'm showing them, if you just little by little things, even little things, even this is what I put together for this presentation today, all has meaning of bringing positive energy to this space. The color that I was wearing, and
Yeah.
the rock that I picked, and different things, and to raise that bar so that they can start to live up here or even here. It's just the beginning, right?
It's the beginning. And one of the things that we will spend a lot of time on, and I hope you will in your own private time, is sorting out what vulnerability brings to your journey. Because when my son and I had to hold hands, leap into the unknown, their eyes closed, and do a somersault, is that not an image of vulnerability? This is a small key point that many people miss. Especially today, it's all about mindset. It's all
So
about
busy.
power.
They're not opening. Well, I took into some really heavy things, and she always talks about, so you'll remember, so she's I'm enjoying it very much.
Sure.
And I'm exhausted after the hour, really. And she's got, replays if you want. And then she's got little mini stuff that comes in like every single day. She doesn't, I don't know when she sleeps is what I'm thinking.
She may not. I don't sleep. I'm out there doing things all during the night, which is why I posted my message from one of the people in my Telegram group, is I saw you in a dream last night. I'm doing that all the time. I'm teaching when people are sleeping.
Cool. Well, I'm finally sleeping through. I'm sure I'm doing other things while I'm sleeping, but I'm finally waking up
We're
rested.
doing what we need to do when we need to do it. It's not about comparison. It's about I'm familiar with that experience.
No, well, this is where I'm coming from right now.
Yeah.
I just need the rest, the downtime, and so that's good.
So this is vulnerability. I've taken most of this week because I'm in massive energy shifts right now. And I actually had a shift in my vision because part of my energy field was misaligned after 5 years of being attacked on the inner planes. Yeah, it was misaligned. And I've been gradually like, okay, 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 okay.
Mhm.
And then as I was regaining the correct alignment, I was seeing I had one foot in the binary code world, or one eyeball
Mhm.
in binary code and one eyeball in the new earth.
Mm.
Uh, and I will probably write a blog post about it, because what I needed to trust inside of me to ask, what is really going on here?
Mhm. Mhm.
Not why am I seeing double in one eye? No. What is really going on here? And then getting the information so that I could respond in a way that kept me aligning in the way that I had chosen to go, that I had made a good choice. So we're here for that. It's beautiful to have you here. This is so much about our experiences, our stories. It's really sifting for gold.
Mhm.
You're a gold miner, you got a lot of junk in the screen, and you've got to sift through it all and pick out the pieces of gold, the ones that have value. And that's a lot of this process. And that's something that you will do on your own.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I know that you both have the skills for this. You're both people, you're leaders, you're teachers in your own right. So I don't have any doubt that you're doing this. And then we come back in community, and what did we discover? And
Mhm.
how valuable and precious is it? And how are we going to utilize it to make sure that we're where we need to be, doing what we need to be doing, and we're being accountable to the best that we imagine ourselves and know ourselves to be.